My next video was going to be showing you what each of the Sky F1 presentation team said about Lewis Hamilton after the Silverstone crash. But somebody posted this link to this video in one of the comments, and I've got to show you this. 18,000 people have liked this video, this mock-up of what took place with the crash between Hamilton and Verstappen. Ignore these ghost cars, which was the comparison between the lines that Hamilton and Leclerc took supposedly. This, just focus on the Hamilton v Verstappen incident. I'm going to post a link to this so you can all see it anyway. It's a lie. Look at what it's showing people. Look at what it's showing people. 18,000 people have liked it because they believe it to be true, and I'm going to evidence it's not. Right, so we can start to see the curbing here on the inside of the corner. Now, in reality, this first white chunk of curbing, don't get confused with the terms, okay? It's not apex, this is curbing. The apex is like the midpoint of the corner, whereby you are kissing the midpoint of the corner and able to accelerate your way out of it, okay? So the apex of the corner is generally around about the midpoint of the corner. Depending on the shape of the corner, it's not always that, but that's generally what the apex is, okay? But this bit of curbing, in reality, is a triangular white piece of curbing, okay? I'm going to play this forward. And that is what they are demonstrating to at least the 18,000 people that like this, to be where the crash took place, where it was around the corner, and how far Lewis Hamilton was away from the curb, okay, and close to kissing the apex, which would be probably closer to here of that corner. And then this ghost car here is where they're saying he was against Leclerc. We'll play that again. So they're saying the impact's there. The only reason Hamilton is that far away from the curb is because he is corrected it. The impact was far before that, which I'm going to demonstrate now. This is the exact frame where the impact occurs. And if you don't believe me, you can do this yourself. The footage comes from F1 TV. Screen record it, take that video, open it in a media player which allows you to play frame by frame. I use VLC. Pause it just before this point, frame it forward, frame by frame. It will show you this moment here. I'm not making this up. There is no value in me making this up. That is the moment it was. Look at what I was explaining about the curb. The first section of the curb being this long white triangular bit. The impact is before the curbing even starts. The apex to the corner isn't even on screen at the moment. It's well round here. Okay? I'll show you a bit further on as I go through this video. So that is the aerial view. This is from Lewis Hamilton's car. You can see the dust coming up off the two tyres as the connection happens. Look at where they are. Look at this white piece of curbing start. The apex to this corner, considering the track starts going off around here, the apex is somewhere around here. Look at where Lewis Hamilton's on course to go. The only reason he ends up here is because he has to correct his steering, because this impact has jolted his nose across and he has to correct, which drifts him away from this curbing. So he ends up here because he has to correct because of this impact. And from Verstappen's car, this is about a frame or two after the impact, where Verstappen's car is just going into that spin. Look at where he is. And the apex to the corner. We're talking about here being the apex because the track disappears off around here. So the midpoint of the corner, we're talking about here. This is the bit you're aiming to get your car to be kissing so that you can accelerate out of it. We're well before the apex. Lewis Hamilton, you don't have to hit the apex of a corner. You don't have to. That's just the optimum line if you're trying to set a fast lap time. When you are racing wheel to wheel with a car, nobody's got the right to the apex. Okay? Nobody's got the right to it. When you're side by side, as long the ruling is you have to leave enough space on track for the other car. It's not, the rule isn't, oh, the car on the inside has to hit the apex. That's not the rule. The rule is you can't force the other car off the track. Okay? And if you're on the outside, you have to make sure that you're leaving space and you're staying wide of the car on the inside. So, and if he drives you off the track, then he's in the wrong. People need to start learning the rules of motor racing. It's nothing to do with the racing line. When you're side by side with a car, we're talking about rules of engagement of car-to-car racing. That's what becomes the relevant factor. Racing line is just for setting an optimum lap time. And hitting apexes is part of setting an optimum lap time. That doesn't factor in to wheel racing. Why are you not being educated about this? Ask yourself the question, who is responsible for teaching people about Formula One? And why isn't anybody telling you that? Now, I'll go back to what it is to demonstrate it once again. This video, 18,000 people like it. God knows how many more believe it to be true. They believe this to be true. That's not the truth. I've demonstrated it's not the truth. Why are all these people trying to vilify Sir Lewis Hamilton? Sky Sports F1, all of their commentators, all of their pundits have vilified Lewis Hamilton. This online content maker has completely inaccurately represented what took place. And people believe it. We've got to start asking the question, what is going on? Why?